Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 6 of What If Naruto Was Banished and got a supernatural ability. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also stay in tune because I'm going to be posting What If Naruto Got Banished and gathered all of the Jinchurikis. So stay in tune for that guys, and I hope you guys enjoy. And over on Anime King, I'm going to be posting a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Badass Genius. So stay in tune for that, and I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto Was from the two greatest clans. So stay in tune for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, and yeah. What do you say without further ado, we begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last time we left off, Naruto helped Aizaraibe face off against Amaki, as in the end they won, and Naruto used a toe to bring back Amaki and Orochimaru followers to Konoha, seeing that they have information about Orochimaru which Snadibachan and Jiraiya could use. We then skipped to Orochimaru as he was fuming, as they heard about the boy who defeated their two lackeys. As from the descriptions, the whisker marks, but the red hair threw him off a bit though, but he heard that Naruto was banished from Konoha. Naruto was one of the big reasons why he didn't get Sasuke, that brat got in his way. So he put out the order, tell Kabu to tell his man, if they find that boy bring him to me, as he wanted to enjoy killing him himself. The next morning Naruto left after having a good night with Aizaraibe last night, as the both of them went for a swim, as she made him promise to come back. As Naruto sealed the promise with a kiss, and with that he left. Naruto then went as he visited Koyoki. Koyoki was shocked as she didn't recognize him at first, but after recognizing him, the both of them got into talk, as one of the men for the movie dropped out, because he was sick, as Naruto took his spot and they only need one take because it was so awesome. After that, Koyoki invited Naruto back to her personal chambers. As the both of them took a bath together, nothing really serious, but she told Naruto that she liked him, and Naruto liked her as well, but for right now he has to be on the move, and he promised the princess that he will come back for her, and with that he headed off. After heading off, Naruto decided to went to visit Shibuki, as it took a while for him to get near to Take, as he went under the secret water passage. Going through there, as he was brought to Shibuki. Shibuki was surprised seeing Naruto here as he asked him what is going on, as Naruto told him about his banishment, as Shibuki was beyond shocked. How could Konoha do something like this to Naruto, one of their loyalist ninjas, as Shibuki could not understand it at all. As Fu then came into the office as Naruto met Fu. Fu then told Shibuki that he wished to speak to Naruto, as she brought him outside and told him she already knew, as Naruto felt it as well. The both of them are Jinchurikis, as Naruto spoke to Komi and Kurama spoke to Komi as well, as Naruto told them that there's something important he need to tell them about, including Shibuki. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So, what do you say we begin this new episode? Akatsuki? Shibuki said. As we currently have Fu and Naruto in the office, as Naruto told Shibuki about the Akatsuki. Yes, an organization composed of Nin, with one goal in mind, to collect all the Bijus. I've only met two of them before, and they were no walk in the park. Okay, so how do we know who to keep an eye out for? Asked Shibuki. Be wary of people who wear black cloaks with red clothes on them and gashes through their headband symbol. I think I may know a character who could be part of this organization, only out of hunch though, Shibuki said. Who Naruto asked. Shibuki would look through his references as he pulled out a book and flipped through a couple pages. Yeah, this guy here, Kakazu, Shibuki said, as he showed Kakazu. According to history, long before my father was village leader, Kakazu was sent to assassinate the first Hokage, but he failed. Despite the danger he undertook, he returned home only to face punishment. In response against that, for him putting his life on the line and they only give him punishment, he developed a violent hatred for his village and escaped from imprisonment. He then killed the village elders and took their hearts and fled with knowledge about our village most prized forbidden techniques. Took their hearts, Naruto said in confusion. Fu was as confused as well. Yes, one of the secret techniques he stole allowed him to steal people's heart and to get their chakra element as well with it, and he used a tentacle in his body to keep them together. With that technique he has all 5 chakra elements. All 5? Whoa, Naruto gasped. No one has seen or heard from Kakazu for years. The only thing we know about him right now is that he he loves money. Preferably through bounty hunting. You don't say. Well, look like I got some competition, Naruto said, the last part under his breath. If I was leading this Akatsuki organization, then he would be a ninja I would want in my army, Shibuki said. I hate to think what other new names are involved in that organization, Fu said. Trust me, the 2 I met will knock you off your feet, Naruto said. Well, enough about that. It's been a long day, Naruto. So how would you like to stay in Taki for at least a day or 2? I actually like that. Plus, I can showcase my special talent here. I can make some more cash. Special talent, Fu said. Yeah, come with me and I'll show you, Naruto said, as he led them outside to a secluded area. So, what is this we're going to see, Shibuki? A sneak peek performance of my magic show, Naruto said. Magic? Fu asked. That's right, for I am Majesto. Wait, that magician traveling ninja line is you, Shibuki said, as he heard rumors about such a traveler. Oh yeah, he said as he started to do some of his magic acts. Shibuki and Fu gasped as they applauded another performance. Naruto, how are you doing that, Fu asked. It's magic, along with a jutsu using, but don't tell anyone, Naruto said. Don't worry, we won't, said Shibuki. Good, and this power of mine come with other joys, Naruto said, as he levitated himself in the air. Meh, that's nothing, I can do that, Fu said, as a pair of beetle wings came from her back as she flew up to Naruto level. Huh? Your Jinjulki power enable you to do that? I am fused to that beetle, remember? So you know you understand the joy of being able to fly, said Fu. Yeah, it's awesome, Naruto said. Alright you two, come down before you're spotted, Shibuki said, as the both of them descended down to the ground. Well Naruto, you put on that magic show here, and you're both to attract an audience, Fu said. That's just what I'm hoping for, Naruto said. Later that day, Naruto performed as Majesto, as the entire village turned up for his performance. Soon, it was the end of the day and Naruto was in his guest room, as he was at Shibuki's place, counting up his earnings. Man, I love this job, Naruto said. He then heard a tap on his window, as he turned to see Fu, as he was flying. Fu, he said as he opened the window. What's up? I just thought it's nighttime. You wanna go for a flight together? She asked. Really? Naruto said. Yeah, seeing that you can fly on your own, I don't have to carry you up, she said. Well, alright, Naruto said as he packed his money away, as he flew outside with Fu. Wanna go higher? She asked. You mean past the trees? Naruto said. Yeah, it's one big canopy that covers our entire village, she said. Awesome, Naruto said. Let's go. As the both of them fly straight up as they pass the village. How do you like that? Fu said. Not bad, Naruto said, but I flew higher than that before. I'll take your word for it, Fu said as they remain airborne, as they watch the starry sky. Nice night, isn't it? Naruto asked. Yeah, with such a big tree, it's hard for us to truly see this without being out here, she said. And most people can't. Well, with my abilities, I've seen the night sky closer than I thought I'd ever would, Naruto said. Naruto, Fu said. Huh? Do you think there's a hope for us? For Jinjulkis, I mean. If this organization is after us, she asked. I honestly don't know, Naruto said, but I know it depends on Jinjulki themselves. Me, you, Utsugata, Gaara, and the other Jinjulkis. We have to aim for our own future. It won't be easy, with the criminals of the Akatsuki out there. He then held Fu's hand, but as long as we remain strong and never give up on what we believe, I believe there will be a future for all of us, he said. Fu smiled as she gave him a hug. I believe you're right, she said. Time skip, 2 days later. Naruto had stuck around talking for fun, but now it was time for him to go. He stood by the water as Shibuki, Fu, and the 2 kids were seeing him off. Do you really have to go, Naruto? Himatsu asked. Yeah, can't you stay here and have some more fun with us? Shizuka pleaded. Thanks for the offer, guys, but I have my own path to follow, he said, as he ruffled their heads. But I'll be back. I'll promise, okay? Alright, the both of them said. Be careful out there, Naruto, said Shibuki. And don't forget to ride, said Fu. You got it, guys. Well, time to go, he said as he waved goodbye, as he jumped into the lake and exit back out. No, that was a nice visit. Where do I go? Poof. Naruto suddenly vanished in a poof of smoke. Suddenly he reappeared with numerous toads surrounding him, as all of them were just laying about. What? Where am I? He said. Yo, Naruto. As Naruto turned and saw his favorite toad, Gamakichi. Gamakichi, what? I am the one who summoned here. Glad you made it in one piece, the toad said. But where is here exactly, Naruto said. This is Mount Miyaboku, home of the toad said. Some place you guys got here, Naruto said, looking around. Well, it's paradise to us, the toad said as he hopped on top of a boulder. So why did you bring me here anyway, Naruto asked. Because I ordered him to, Naruto boy, an old geezer voice said. As Naruto looked around but he saw nothing. What the hell? Down here, boy. As Naruto looked down to see a small, green toad, and he looked rather old, wearing a cloak. Who are you, Naruto said. I am Lord Fukazaku, one of the great toad sages of Mount Miyaboku. A geezer sage, Naruto asked. Naruto, Gamakichi said. Be respectful. He's even stronger than Pops. Stronger than Bunta? Naruto said as he looked at the small toad. That would be true. In fact, I am the one that made Jiraiya boy. The strong shinobi he is today. Boy, Naruto said. Hey geezer toad, who do you think you are treating Erosinin like a kid? Naruto, didn't you hear what I just said about respect? Gamakichi said, until the both of them heard a laugh coming from the old toad. Erosinin, huh? Fitting neat name for Jiraiya boy. Alright, so what do you want with me, Naruto asked. Well, Naruto boy, Jiraiya boy told me about your banishment from Konoha, and you want me to continue on where he left off with your training. Continue where he left off, Naruto said. That's right, it's time you take another step in training with us toads, in the art of Sage Jutsu. What? Naruto said, surprised. Time skip, a very long one. 3 years later. It's been 3 years since Naruto has been banished from Konoha. One afternoon, by a port in a land of fire, stood Kakashi, Guy, Osuma, Kurenai, and their squads. The rookies look much older than they originally look. Well guys, our next boat should be arriving soon, said Kakashi. I can't believe that Tsunade-sama will just give us a day off like this, Neji said, in disbelief. Well, we have been working hard the last few weeks, Tenten said. I hope this place we're going have some good food, Choji said. It's always with your stomach, Choji, said Ino. Shikamaru just yawned, troublesome, he said. Suddenly, they heard an explosion coming from the forest behind them. What was that? Sakura said. I don't know, let's check it out, Lee said. Neji, Hinata, said Kakashi. The both of them nodded as they activated their Byakugan, as they saw a fight going on with various ninjas. Looks like some sort of fight is broken out, said Hinata. Should we do something about it, Kiba asked. I don't think so, Kiba. Remember, we shouldn't meddle in the affair of others, Kurenai said. She's right, said Kakashi, until Neji spoke. Hold it, one of the chakra signatures from the fighters looked very familiar, he said. As Hinata started to observe the fight even more. Yes, really familiar, he said. How familiar, Lee asked. Like someone we used to know, said Neji. It might be him, Hinata said, as she started to run. Hinata, Kiba called out as they all started to follow her, as they were led into the forest. Soon they stopped as they saw several ninja bandits fighting against one guy. The guy they were fighting wore black shinobi sandals, long blue cargo pants, black long sleeve shirt with red flame patterns, as he had on a brown coat over that with the hood up. They watched as he was fighting against the bandits like they were children. That guy's taijutsu is impressive, said Guy. Who is he, and why are those guys fighting him, Sakura said. All of them gasped when the stranger just flew off the ground, levitating in the air and started to strike down the bandits. When a bandit tried to come from him from behind, the bandit was frozen as he was picked off the ground and thrust into a tree. What is going on? Ino said. How did that ninja get thrown like that? Said Tenten. They continued to watch as all the bandits were lifted off the ground and thrust together as they were wrapped up with ropes. Well, that's take care of you lot. I know it's time for me to collect my fee, the stranger said. But first, you can all come out now. I know you're there, he said, as he simply waved his hand as all the bushes that were hiding them started to turn and expose them. How did you know we were here? Asuma asked. I could feel it, he said. What did those ninjas want with you? Kurenai asked. They didn't want anything with me. I had something with them. What do you mean? Kakashi said. These bandits have been causing trouble in the town close by, so I decided to catch them and bring them in for the ward. But how did you actually did that stuff without actually touching them? My own ability, he said. Hinata then spoke. Neji and I know it's you. Why aren't you telling us? She said. He chuckled a bit. I guess there's no fool in your eyes, is there? Well, since it's just you guys, I guess I can spare a few moments. After all, it has been years, he said, as he pulled down his hood to show his face. For a second there, they looked at him, but then they noticed a mark on his face. Even though his hair was red, it was him, Naruto, Sakura said. As Kakashi was shocked as well. Hey guys, what's up, Naruto said. Naruto, all of them said as they rushed over the rookies and started bombarding him with questions. Naruto tried to answer, but they kept on asking him a ton of questions, so he used the ability to push them back. One at a time guys, one at a time, he said. Naruto, is that really you? Said Kakashi. The one and only Kakashi, Naruto said. Since you don't have to refer to him as his Jonin sensei anymore. What did you do to your hair? Ino asked. I dyed, Naruto said. What do you think? It looks good. Who would have thought that red would be a good color for you? Ino said. Wow, you look like you've been doing very well, Choji said. Thanks, Choji. You all look like you've been doing well too. Well, it was hard to deal with you not being in the village, Kamaru said. Yeah, not as exciting as it used to be, said Tenten. I bet, Naruto said. How is Bachan and Shizune? They're okay. Both of them really miss you, just like Jiraiya, said Kakashi. I feel the same way, Naruto said. We've been following up on your letter since the last 3 years. Is it true what you've been doing? Hinata asked. Oh yeah, every word of it, Naruto said. What happened back there? Neji said. As I said, Neji, I have my own abilities now. But how did you do it? Kiba asked. It's simple, Naruto said. You just think that you can go up? And up you go, he says. He hovered above them. Naruto, are you flying? Lee said. Is it that simple? Said Kiba, as he tried to do it as well, as he jumped up, but he only landed on his face. You realize he was just joking, Kiba, said Shino. He was, Kiba said. I mean, of course he was. I was just humoring him. Naruto, how are you able to do that? Simple, Naruto said. I'm psychic. Psychic? Since when? Ino asked. For 3 years now, Naruto said, as he continued to hover above them. Did this occur when you were banished? Asked Kakashi. Possibly. Look, I'll tell you guys later. I'll have to bring these guys in now for my fee. As he summoned some clones that took the bandits back to the town. Naruto, what happened to you? Sakura asked. A lot of things, Sakura. In my case, improvements. Weren't you lonely out there? Asked Hinata. Of course I was, Naruto said. But I wasn't going to make it lonely, make me feel all depressed. Sure, I can't go back to Konoha, but trust me, this is liberation. As he floated around them in a circle, I live with no worries, no responsibilities. I'm free to do what I want and how I want it. Sounds like my kind of life, said Shikamaru, as he was dreaming of just sleeping all day. So what brings all of you out here together? Naruto asked as he touched back down. Well, we were waiting for a boat to arrive, Kakashi said, until Sakura and Ino cried. The boat! As they all started to run back, with Naruto following them. When they returned to the port, their boat was already departed. No, Sakura and Ino cried. That was our boat ride, Tenten said. And the next one won't be here until another hour, Kiba said. And that's a problem, Naruto asked. We have reservations at a special inn on the island. And if we wait another hour, they might pass our rooms off to someone else, said Ino. Where are you guys going anyway? Naruto asked. We were supposed to be staying at Linwai Inn on the next island, said Sakura. Linwai Inn, Naruto said. That's right, said Kakashi. Then maybe I can help you, Naruto said. Help us how? Shino asked, as Naruto clone returned and handed him the money. Perfect, Naruto said after the clone dispelled. They didn't think out on the deal. Naruto, Hinata said. About what you were saying about helping us get the inn, asked Kunai. Alright, I can just fly you guys there, Naruto said. Fly us? Choji asked. By yourself? No, not by myself, Naruto said as he summoned clones. As each of the clones went behind one of the members. Okay guys, I'm gonna ask that you not squirm around. Just don't drop any of us, Kakashi said. Trust me, you're in good hands, Naruto said, as he flew up as the clones carried his comrades. As the rookies were cheering as it was exciting to fly through the sky. This is awesome, Kiba said. I'm soaring just like a bird, Lee said. Naruto, do you do this every day? Tenten asked. On a daily basis, the clone answered. It's the fastest we have ever been able to travel to Ninja Land, another clone said. As the real Naruto went towards Kakashi and Sakura, so I guess Squad 7 is no longer. Seeing that I'm gone and Sasuke's in lockup. I'm afraid so, said Kakashi. How is he anyway? Naruto said. Sasuke? Well, he hasn't spoken a word to anyone since he was put in lockup. Stubborn ass as usual, Naruto said. So with no Team 7, I became an apprentice as Nade-sama, and occasionally I would be sent out on a mission with Kakashi-sensei or the other squad members. Apprentice Sabachan? What's your training like? Naruto said. It was traumatizing, Sakura said. The exercises she put me through, I felt like I was going to die. However, in the end, I managed to learn medical ninjutsu to an impressive level, but I'm still nowhere near the Shizune level yet. She's also taught her how to use her strength to a degree like hers, said Kakashi. Seriously, Naruto said, as Sakura nodded with a smile. Well, I'm glad to see you're doing okay, Naruto said. And I will also admit it, Naruto, I really do miss having you in Konoha, Sakura replied. Thanks, but like I said, I'm doing okay on my own. Bounty hunting, banjo playing, magic acting. You really are multitasking, Kakashi said. Naruto then looked down. Well, look there, we arrive at our destination. Dive, he said, as each of clones started to dive downwards at tremendous speed until they came to a stop and touched down on the land. So, how was it, Naruto asked? That was quite an experience, Neji said. It was wild, Tenten panted in excitement. I truly envy you, Naruto, Kiba said. Heard it before, Naruto said. Well, come on, if we don't get to the inn on time, we might lose our spot to someone else, Asuma said. As they start to walk until they reach a beautiful, exquisite inn. That's it, said Kurenai. Wow, it's even better, said Ino. Well, come on, let's go in, said Kakashi, as they were greeted by two women at the front. Welcome to Lua Inn. My name is Minsu, and this is my darling daughter Chao, she said. Please leave your shoes here, Chao said. Thank you, we have a reservation from Konoha under the fifth Hokage named Tsunade, said Kakashi. Yes, of course, you arrived on time, Minsu said. Hey, Minsu, Chao, you girls are looking lively. The mother and daughter were surprised to hear that voice as Naruto walked from the crowd of ninja. Naruto? Minsu gasped. We didn't know you were coming, Chao said as she blushed. I wasn't, but my old friends here missed their boat, so I had to get them here. This is wonderful, Chao. Call up the girls and tell them to prepare a big feast for our special guest, Minsu said. Of course, Mother, Chao said as she went to the intercom. Everyone, our guest from Konoha has arrived, and also Naruto is among them. Suddenly, the ground started to shake as multiple teenage girls with their hair ties up in bun and they were wearing kimono run out. Naruto-sama, they screamed. As they started, the mob cuddled him from left and right as Naruto seemed okay with it. What the hell is this? Kiba said. It's Naruto, with all the luck in the world, Choji said. As Naruto climbed out of the mob. Thank you girls for the welcome as you have always done. Naruto, is there something you haven't told us? Sakura asked, as she was a little irked, seeing her teammate being swarmed by multiple girls like a playboy, as Tsunade-sama told her about Jiraiya, and it looked like it rubbed off on Naruto. Oh, you see, I come here multiple times in the last 3 years, Naruto said. But I'll tell you after we have something to eat. All that flying left me famished. Soon, everyone was eating in the dining hall, as Chao had her arms wrapped around Naruto, with her head rested on his shoulder, as the guys couldn't believe it. Naruto was like teasing them. So, you've been here before, Naruto, Kakashi said. Oh yeah, first time I came here, just taking a break from my travels. The people here are incredibly nice, Naruto said. Obviously, Sakura said, seeing how the way the girls clung to him and the way Chao was acting. Well, one night me and Chao took on some missing ninjas that tried to rob the place, Naruto said. You can fight, Chao? Asked Ino. Yes, my mother trained me herself. She's very skilled in hand-to-hand combat, and the way she performed with her trademark twin clubs is astonishing, Naruto said. So afterwards, Chao's mom granted me a special pass here to thank me for saving her and Chao's home. He's also performed numerous banjo playing and shows here whenever he can, Chao said. The pay is worth it, Naruto said with a chuckle. So what else is going on in the village? How is Konohamaru doing? Well, he's a ninja now with his friends, under Ebisu's command, Kakashi said. He still has his eyes set on becoming Hokage in honor of you. That's Konohamaru, Naruto said. The old man and his daughter miss you as well. They say business haven't been the same since you were gone. Poor guys, Naruto said. Even Iruka worry about you, said Kakashi. I see. I worry about him and all of you as well, Naruto said. Though, I've made a lot of friends in my travels. Tell them not to worry, Naruto said. Mitsu then approached. Hello everyone, enjoy your dinner, I hope. Yes, thank you, they replied. Yes, that's good. After you finish, you can all get cleaned up in our indoor springs. An indoor bath? Ino gasped in joy. Wow, I can't wait, Tenten said. Naruto, do you wish to use our private spring? Mitsu asked, while Chao waited for his answer. As Naruto looked, everyone was looking at him strangely. So he spoke. It's alright, I can go to the regular bath, he said. Soon enough, all the boys were on the boys' side of the bath, as Naruto was using his power to levitate the soap. Man, it must be cool to have such an ability like that, Naruto, Choji said. It does have its perks, but the occasional drawback, well, that was when I just started out, Naruto said. Drawback, said Shino. But then, if I overuse my ability I would get nosebleeds, leaving my face messy. How could you overexert your power? Asked Shikamaru. Well, when I first started using I tried levitating something I am not used to. Well, that was incredibly big. It happened in other instances as well, when I use it on people, like breaking their bones and that. Breaking their bones? Neji questioned. Don't worry, I only do that when I'm hunting for bounty. I never use it on innocent. But listen guys, there's something I have to tell you all privately, Naruto whispered. What is it? Shikamaru asked. I've been hunted ever since I was banished, Naruto said. Hunted by who? Asuma asked. As Naruto told them, since he left. I knew Danzo wouldn't get you banished just so you could be out of the village, Kakashi said. Because now that you're no longer a Konoha ninja, he can hunt you without the charge of being a murderer, said Asuma. I can't believe he's been doing that for years. Why didn't you tell us in a letter? Kiba asked. Like it would have mattered. Danzo is very good at covering his tracks, and besides, his rude envoys don't stand a chance against me. Even so, Naruto, Tsunade would have kept a close eye on Danzo, said Kakashi. She has enough on her plate already. I don't want to put anything else on her shoulders. Putting others before yourself, Naruto. You're the same as usual, said Kakashi. Thanks, I guess, Naruto said. Say, I promised Minzu that I will put on my magic show for the guests. Guys wanna watch? Well, we can't exactly call it magic, since we know it come from your... Naruto clamped Kiba mouth shut. Shh, the walls have ears too, he said. Even if we know the secret, the fact that he's able to make it happen is enjoyable. Thank you, Lee, Naruto said. On the woman's side, all of the girls were relaxing as they soak in the springs with Chao. What was Naruto like when you all knew him? Chao asked. Well, he was loud and annoying, Sakura said. Quite a troublemaker as well, said Ino. I see, Chao said. But he was much more than that, Hinata said. Yeah, he was also dedicated, eager to prove himself to everyone, Tenten said. Yeah, he's one hell of a fighter. He never backed down and he never gave in, Sakura said. He even saved our village when it was invaded once, said Ino. Then he's a hero, Chao said. Yes, but not many appreciate what happened, said Kurnai. Do any of you like him? Chao asked, as the girls were taken aback. Like him? Sakura said. Yes, Chao said. Well, he's my friend and old teammate, but I wish I treated him a lot better when we first start out. Same here, but I treated him better than Sakura, Ino said. At first I thought he was just fooling himself when he was made to fight Neji. In the finals, Tenten said. But he proved me wrong when he defeated Neji. He reminded me of my teammate Lee. Hinata then spoke up. I've always loved Naruto, she said. He helped me against some bullies, even when my guards told me to stay away from him. Whenever I see him get back up and keep trying, nothing that comes in his path can stop him. It just fills me with such admiration. When he left, I told him my feelings. I even kissed him. Bold move, Chao said. I did too. You kissed Naruto? Ino asked. Yes, he was very good at it. Did you think so, Hinata? Chao asked. Oh yes, it was the best first kiss I could ever ask for, Hinata said, blushing like crazy. Wow, now I wish I kissed him as well, said Ino. Yeah, me too, said Tenten. Well, like how you're staying here, you might get a chance too, said Chao. You think? Said Ino. Well, if you can get alone with him. As Sakura and Kurnai just watched them, as all of them looked determined. After his magic show that night, Naruto was taken to his private room, as he slept in his boxers. Man, I love this place, he said. He then felt something crawling into his bed, as he saw a giant bulge under the covers. As he poked at it, as he heard a small squeak. Naruto, I see, you still haven't lost your daringness, said Chao, as she came from under the covers, as she was wearing a purple lingerie. And as always, you have boldness, Naruto chuckled. I only show it with you, she said, as she crawled up to him. You're lucky I'm not sharing a room with any of the guys, because it would seriously make things awkward, Naruto said. I know, Chao said, as she rested her head on his chest. So you talk to the girls. What do you think of them, Naruto asked. They're all interesting ones, and if I were you, I would be careful around Hinata, Tenten, and Ino. I believe they might try to get along with you. Well, let them, Naruto said. I haven't seen them in so long. I'm curious to see what kind of method they will use. Chao smiled. I'm so glad you came here today, Naruto. With you traveling around the ninja land, we never know when you will show up again. When you show up out of the blue, my heart just raced like crazy. You see, she said as she grabbed his hand. She put it directly on her breast, just to tease him a bit, as she then rested. I really find it hard to imagine you were still the same, cold-faced expression girl when I met you, Naruto said. Was I that stone-faced? Chao asked. Not once when I came here did you smile. But when we fought those mutants, I could see the smile on your face, and it was beautiful. Well, I never saw someone like you fight with such passion before, or at my speed. When we fight side by side, it felt like ballet. Our teamwork overpowered the mutants. It felt like the perfect tag team duo. So you first liked me because of my combat skills. That was the start actually, but actually when you start to talk to me more and more, I start to understand you. Now look at me, making moves on such a handsome guy. Yeah, if I had touched you in this spot before, you'd have probably tried to kill me, Naruto said. Maybe, but not so much, he said, with a smile. But now, she said, as she slowly brought down the lingerie, exposing her chest fully, as she brought Naruto's face and smashed it against her breast. Walking outside, Misu walked by the room. As she giggled, those crazy kids, she said. I just wish she was older, she thought to herself, as she walked away. And also guys, Cho had golden eyes and short black hair, and she's also 19 years old. Skip. The next morning, the Konoha called her up as they were having breakfast at table. Anyone seen sight of Naruto? Asked Sakura. Nope, Shikamaru said. I'm afraid not, said Tenten. You think he left early? Asked Hinata. Don't worry about Naruto, said Misu. He's just outside training with my workers. Training? Kakashi asked. Oh yes, you see, Cho used to be the only one that would train the girls in the art of combat. When Naruto showed up and protected the inn, the girls became even more interested to learn combat. She then giggled a bit. That is not the only reason they want to learn under Naruto as well, she said. Kakashi giggled a bit. Jiraiya-sama, if only you could see Naruto now. When everyone was finished, they saw Naruto outside with Cho, as they were sparring with the workers. As the group watched, well, Naruto has been keeping up with his training as of late, because the army of girls were attacking him, and even without his psychic power, they could not touch him. Indeed, a ninja like Naruto would not let his youthful energy squander, Guy said. Am I right, Kakashi? Did you say something, Guy? Kakashi said, as Guy's face halted, as Naruto finished with the last. Girls, that's good work, ladies. Remember to keep up with their training as you always do. Yes, Naruto-sama, all of them said as they bowed their heads and returned to work. Very impressive, Naruto, Kakashi said. Well, I try my best, Naruto said as he told off. Who would have known that he went from a knucklehead teaching Konohamaru that perverted jutsu to a teacher teaching young ladies, Sakura said. Well, I'm different now, Naruto said, as Sakura nodded as she understood. Just what else have you been learning, Neji asked. Well, 3 years ago I learned a particular band of jutsu that Erasanin was able to master up at the Mount Miyaboku, the home of the Toads. Jutsus known by Jiraiya-sama? Kurenai asked. Yes, Naruto said, Sage Jutsu. Sage Jutsu, they asked. Yeah, let me tell you, learning it wasn't easy. Can you show us? Ino asked. Very well, Naruto said as he closed his eyes, sought to concentrate. When he snapped them open, as they saw, around his eyes were orange, and there was a black line in his eye. What is that? Hinata asked. In order to learn Sage Jutsu, a ninja must stand still and absorb all of the natural energy around you. However, you must balance natural energy along with physical and spiritual energy to be able to use Sage Chakra. Balancing these energy is extremely difficult. Taking in too much will turn you into a frog statue, and taking in too little won't work. Yikes, said Ino. So what can you do in this Sage mode? Choji asked. With this, my senses are stronger along with physical strength and my speed, and with my power I can fly faster than anything. You would blink and I would be gone, not to mention it made my jutsu more powerful. How long did you stay at Mount Miyaboku to learn it? Asuma asked. For a few months actually, Naruto said. How much differently has Sage Jutsu affected the regular jutsu? Neji asked. Well, Naruto said as he held out his hand as a Rasengan form, but it then started to increase as he raised above his head. What the hell? Kiba said, as Choji dropped his bag of chips. How the hell are you holding that like it's weightless? Said Shikamaru. I can't imagine anyone surviving after getting hit by that. As Naruto turned towards a tree. Hermit Art, Ultra Ball, Spiraling Rasengan. As the things tear through the trees and dig into the forest, leaving a path of destruction behind it. Wow, all of the girls said as they gasped. What the hell? Kiba said. All of a sudden I feel very inferior. As Naruto ended Sage mode and sit down with them. Yeah, training with the Toads were quite an experience. Geezer Toad even offered me a permanent home up there, so that Danzo and his flunkies couldn't find me. I didn't take it though. You didn't? Sakura asked. Nope, granted that place would be considered a paradise. I would have feel like an animal kept in a cage with no connection to the outside world though. Plus, I couldn't eat that bug food for the rest of my life. Bug food? Shino said. Don't ask, Naruto said. Well, I'm going out for a walk. Be back later, he said. He really seems happy, Shikamaru said. Have you ever seen him this happy at all? Ino asks. Never, says Shino. Well, Naruto hasn't been happy. Sometimes we see him, Minzu said. He hasn't? Sakura asks. Yes, even though he said that he doesn't have to deal with biased people anymore. Occasionally he talked about how much he missed the people in Konoha. You guys, she said. Well, we're glad to see you and your daughter, or who knows how many Naruto has met over the many years, to be there by his side so he won't be alone, said Kakashi. I just don't see where you live, how the people could let someone pure as him go, Minzu said as she and Chao watched Naruto go off in the distance. Later that day, Naruto was swimming in a waterfall, just in his boxers. Yeah, this is relaxing, he said. 3 years since you've seen your friends. How does it make you feel, Kurama asked. Feels great. I'm glad to see that you're doing okay just as I am, he said. I am sure when they return to Konoha and tell Snappy and Jerry about you, they will be hammering the group for questions. I wish I could see it, Naruto said. Someone is coming, said Kurama, but not the enemy. As Naruto waited, as he saw Hinata coming along, Hey Hinata, he said. Naruto, she said as she walked over. She then saw his clothes on the ground. Oh sorry, she said, turning her head. Relax, Hinata. I'm still decent, he said. Sorry, but I just want to see what you're up to. I figured you wouldn't be training after the exercise you were doing back at the inn, she said. Yeah, I came here for a dip. It's relaxing, Naruto said. If you want, you can join me. Well, I didn't bring exactly anything with me to swim, she said. Will it be okay if I swim in my underwear just like you, she asked. If you don't mind getting them wet, Naruto said. I don't, she said, as she slowly started to unbutton her jacket. As Naruto was about to turn around, wait, said Hinata. I don't mind if you look. What? Naruto said. I said I don't have a problem, she said, poking her 2 fingers together. Whoa. She has certainly changed. Hinata, I knew, would have never said that to my face without fainting, he said to himself. As Hinata finished undressing and she stood in a white bra and white panties. Shit, Naruto thought. Those things are bigger than my hands. As Hinata came in the water, Hinata then rose up from the water with her wet hair flowing down her back. As Naruto, eyes went wide as he could see through the fabric of what she was wearing. The water is definitely cold, said Hinata. I know, Naruto said, as he was just staring. So, how's your family, Naruto said, trying to change the conversation, still having tensions between the 2 houses. Well, not at all, she said. Through careful negotiation, my father, Neji, and I was able to bring peace and balance to the main and branch houses. So there's no more tension, Naruto asked. No, we fight as one now, she said. Well, looks like you and Neji was able to do what I failed to promise, he said, as he felt a bit guilty. You have nothing to be ashamed about, she said, swimming over to him. If it weren't for you, Neji would have never changed, and things have probably been the same way. So you see, you already changed your clan by opening Neji's eyes, she said. As Hinata went behind him, as she hugged him from behind, as he could feel her breast pressing against his back. As Naruto's face turned even red again. Oh man, they feel even squishier, he said to himself. You're lucky you start reading your sensei's book years ago, or you would have no idea what to do if a woman gives you a hint like this, Kurama said. Yeah, I can't believe I've been giving Erosenin a hard time about his books when I haven't even read them to appreciate the fine art about it. And now, I'm gonna use this book to my advantage, Naruto said. Hinata was curious why Naruto was being so quiet. She spoke. Are you alright? She asked. Hinata, he said. Do you trust me? What? Do you trust me? He asked. Of course, she said. As Naruto turned around. I've seen you been keeping secrets, he said, looking down. Well, I try not to expose them, she said. Humble, a quality that suits you, Naruto said. As Naruto wrapped his arms around her. How about we go for a refreshing swim? We're already doing that, she said. As Naruto reached around, Hinata squeaked a bit when she heard he unclipped her bra. As he threw it back over to the shore. As Hinata just stood there not saying anything. As he then dipped down into water, Hinata's eyes bulged out wide as she felt her last piece of clothing removed. As he got up and threw it out. As he went down and removed his boxers. You sure no one's gonna catch us around here? She asked. I'm all over it, Naruto said as he formed a hand sign. As a barrier was created. Naruto, what is this? Hinata asked. Over the years I've developed an interest in sealing jutsu experimentation, he said. I've made my own kind of seals and this is one of them. It projects a barrier around anything surrounding this. Meaning right now it's just you and I. That's amazing, she said. You want to see something amazing? Get a load of the jutsu I created on my own, Naruto said as he went through hand sign. The water then started to bubble like a jacuzzi. Wow, it feels amazing, she said as the bubbling water started to soothe her. Can I tell you something, Hinata? Of course, she said. It's about my identity. Your identity? Yes, when I left Konoha, I felt like a part of me was gone. I was no longer Konoha Shinobi. So I felt I had to find myself again. And when I got my powers, I just kept questioning my old being. Who am I? Or what am I? Am I truly a ninja, a Jinjulki, or something else? The answer is simple, she said. You're Naruto, and nothing will change it about you. I know you would cheer me up, Naruto said. You always know what to say. As he wrapped his arm around her. As Hinata, break right there. As 3 years. She missed him for so long, she moved forward as she planted a kiss on his lips, which he instantly returned. I've been wanting to do that again for 3 years, Naruto said. I feel the same way, she said. As Hinata then looked at him straight into his eyes. I want to go all the way, she said. As Naruto just moved forward and landed another gentle lip on her kiss. Let's do it then, he said. 2 hours later, Naruto and Hinata just got dressed. Hinata, you were absolutely amazing, Naruto said. Well, it was my first time. Seriously, Naruto said. That makes it even better. I just did what came to me, that's all, she said. Well, you're still amazing, Naruto said, as he pecked her on the cheek. Thank you, Naruto. I'm glad my first time was with you, she said. Now how about a different kind of fun, Naruto said. Different kind, she asked. Yep, Naruto said. As he went around and wrapped his arms around her, and the both of them started to fly. Naruto, she said, don't worry, Hinata. I'll never let you go, he said. As the both of them fly past the forest trees. As Hinata could only marvel at the beautiful sight being up in the air with him, as it just made her even more happy. Back at the inn, the group was there doing different kind of things. As they saw Naruto and Hinata touch down on the ground. Thanks for the ride, Naruto, said Hinata. No problem, Naruto said. Seems like you two had fun, said Kakashi, noting their behavior. Yeah, what were you up to, Sakura asked. I was just showing Hinata the joys of being able to fly. Naruto-sama, a worker, ran from Kiba and clung to him. We're so glad you came back, one of them said, while laying her head on his right shoulder. Yeah, you're much more fun to talk to, another one said, glaring at Kiba a bit. I just can't win, said Kiba. Later that night, everyone was eating. Hinata opened up, Naruto said, as he levitated the chopsticks over to her, as she opened her mouth. As Ino and Tenten were watching, as they felt a bit envious, knowing that something else happened, as they mentally cursed themselves for letting Hinata go out to look for him. As Naruto simply smiled, this is what it's all about, sitting around your friends, and enjoying time, he said. But guys, to be in this episode right here, if you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification as they posted. Remember, share to all your friends in your social media platform. But I'm out for now, see you guys soon, peace.